Man, oh man, what a brutal night when it comes to the Blues. We are Arch City now. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. All things St. Louis all the time. That's what we do, plus any of the other stories that you guys want to talk about. Anything that you guys want to get into, we do. I can tell you this much. I promised myself I wouldn't stay up late and watch the Blues. And thankfully, the Blackhawks helped me do that because they destroyed the Blues. What the hell? What the hell is going on? And we'll talk about them over off and on for the next 2 hours. It was just, I know it's early, but still, there is no reason why they looked as bad as they did last night. Final score was 8-3. I mean, the Blackhawks literally came out of the gate, put a goal on the board. Blues kept up. They were down 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. And then after that, it was over. I watched the first period, my friend, and the game didn't start. I don't know. It was supposed to start at 8, and it didn't, or 8:30, and it didn't end up starting to like 8:40. So I was like, they just kept waiting to start it. They had to wait for the game before it. If you're a family paying good money, I mean, even if you're not a family, you're single. If you want to pay good money, which you do for a Blues game, and stay, you're there till 11, 11:30, 12. Then you're trying to get out and get home, maybe work today. That is absurd. The NHL has doubled their revenue in the last 4 years, and you have Central teams playing at 8:30 at night. Maybe I'm just pissed the Blues lost and got crushed, and Joe Holford looked brutal in that. Then Bennington had to come in without being properly warmed up, and then, he did what he could do, and then they moved on from there. Just not what you would want to see last night. But it is what it is. Blues now 2-2 on the season. And I don't know if anybody else stayed up. You can jump in and check with us. Arch City Now at X, Arch City Now on YouTube, and Arch City Now on Facebook. If you want to give us a call and talk about the game, if you want to talk about anything else that's going on now, this week, this weekend, you can do that as well. We'll talk a lot about it today. Phone number is 855-282-8255. Once again, this is the Lou Information Station, live and on demand at louinfo.com. When I saw the game time yesterday, I just had a bad feeling. And it is what it is. So I don't think they did much of anything good last night at all. And this is after they looked very, very good on the road in Canada in 2 straight games. This is not the Jim Montgomery team that we were expecting to see. But now, 2 straight home games, 2 straight duds in front of your fans who pay great money, have great energy and excitement, and support the team, treated to 2 embarrassing, and I mean embarrassing, losses. That can't happen. We saw that in baseball this year with our Cardinals. We don't want to see it with the Blues. And for whatever reason, here it is again. You're wondering if they're going to be able to get out to a decent start this season. And right now you lose 2 straight home games. That's not what can happen. It just can't. I don't know. It's frustrating. At least to me it is, because this team is so much better. And maybe there's a hangover from being in Canada for 2. I don't know. I'm just looking for excuses. I don't know if there is an excuse for the team, but what we saw is not going to be good enough. Just not even close. Not even close when it comes to what they should be showing us. And we can't blame a late start for that. You just can't. You can't do it. I don't like it. Shouldn't be that way, and it is what it is. but a younger Blackhawks team. Look out for the Blackhawks in some years ago. They had some young stars. I mean, some young kids played very well. Very well. The Blues goals, Jake Neighbors got another one. That's 4 goals for him in 4 games. Very nice pace. Dylan Holloway started out early, Tyler Tucker. And outside of that, not much to show. So, is it frustrating? Yeah, it's frustrating. Is it something that's going to hurt them for the season? No, it's not. They're 2-2. But you don't want to lose games early in the year at home against teams that you think are going to be at the bottom of the division. That's unacceptable. Just can't happen. Can't freaking happen. So myself, my friend, Rye, I wasn't even going to watch the entire first period, and I ended up watching the whole first period, and I'm like, okay. Then I went to bed. And then I woke up, and I was like, oh, my Lord, 8-3 was the final, because you knew the Blues weren't going to win after the first period. And then it's like, okay, all right. What else do we have here, guys? Coming up on the show, we can talk baseball. A lot of scripts flipped all of a sudden. Toronto gets revenge. They come back and beat up the Mariners in Seattle when you thought the Mariners were going to go home and maybe sweep. So there's baseball today that's being played. St. Louis City SC plays their final game of the year Saturday in St. Louis against Salt Lake. Weather pending. Did you see the weather reports? I heard people talk. We're supposed to get a lot of rain Saturday. I mean, thunderstorms, lightning.
Yeah, I heard tornado watch too.
For Saturday, maybe Sunday.
For Saturday.
I'm like, okay, that could cause some issues when it comes to soccer or anybody else doing anything outside. The weather until then looks absolutely gorgeous again. 85 today and sunny, maybe 85 and sunny tomorrow for Friday. And then after that, good luck. Here we go. The sky is falling type of stuff that we're starting to see when it comes to our weather. So if you guys want to jump in and talk, we'll do that. Art City now, producer Ryan alongside Vic Faust. Did you get any sleep last night, Ryan? We always like to ask you.
No, I went to a comedy show and
then, did you go out to Helium?
Yeah, I went. It was really funny.
Yeah, how was our would you get there in time for the Casio Kid?
Yes, I saw everybody and it was very funny.
What? Okay, I'd like to see people do well, and you don't want to see people working their butts off just as a hobby. We know how that is. How did the crowd look last night when you went there?
It was a lot of people. It was packed, and Casio really rocked the crowd. So,
how long was he on set for?
I say about 25 minutes. I say 25 to 30. Then the guy after him was like on for like an hour or two, hour 30.
Let's see here. We've got this. Could you do me we'll figure that out at break. You pretty tired?
Not really. A little bit, but
it is Thursday today. It is Thursday, October 16th. We're live, we're local, and we are rocking this morning. Sun hasn't been rising until closer to 7. It's been pushing 7 a.m. in the St. Louis area. Daylight saving time coming up. I believe that's the first weekend of November. And we've got, wait a second here. All right. So we got the Blues to talk about all throughout the show. You got the baseball situation. We were talking about St. Louis City SC, their final game of the year scheduled for Saturday night at 8 p.m. Maybe the weather will be done by then. Who knows? Or that could be a late game if they're worried about lightning in the area. We just don't know how bad the weather could be. You get these, I guess, warnings in advance, and then sometimes it hits, and then sometimes it doesn't. That's kind of where we'll go from there. Also, from a sports standpoint, this Saturday, you've got Mizzou at Auburn. Mizzou went into this game. It started as they were an underdog. Now they're favored. That's right. I think they started as a 3-point underdog. And then now they're a favorite yesterday as a 1.5 favorite. Literally a 1.5 favorite. Okay. So all of a sudden, that shows you the respect that Mizzou has when it comes to this game today, or when it comes to Saturday. People think they're going to win again. Bettors do. But we saw that line happen with Alabama. Expecting another tight, close game. And I don't know, is that what we're going to see? I hope not. I hope Missouri goes in there and takes care of business, blows them out. Make sure that it isn't tight and it isn't close, because Missouri can't lose. You lose 2 in a row. And I know Auburn's good, but this is life in the SEC these days. And then you have to go to Vanderbilt next week and play at Vandy, who, by the way, Vanderbilt's favored over a higher ranked LSU team this Saturday in Nashville. So Vanderbilt will be sitting there waiting as well. And it's like, oh, okay. Doesn't get any easier for Missouri, but obviously, if you're going to be one of the best teams in college football, you got to win those games, just like Alabama has. Alabama beat Georgia. Alabama beat Vandy. And then Alabama beat Missouri on the road. So those are the situations we talk about. Anything else that you guys want to talk about? You jump in. 6:17 is the time. No matter what happens in this Blues season, we know the fans will support them. You just got to get into the playoffs, which we were talking about. So we'll continue to talk that. Also, I was asked yesterday, Rennie Knott's been around for a while, news anchor, Channel 5. Came to St. Louis back in 2004. I was friendly with Rennie. He all of a sudden just took off yesterday. You see that with news anchors. People ask me, do you know what happened? No, I had no idea. Usually contract situations and managements, if they don't want you around or if they need to get rid of money, and that's what's happened to local TV news. That's why it's been so bad, because there's no money in it anymore. It's not a place to advertise. Many people don't put dollars there anymore. Ratings dropped out. I mean, literally dropped out of the sky like an anchor being thrown off an airplane, just because people's viewing habits changed. There weren't enough money. I mean, really, you get updates all over the place. I mean, you can come here for sports. I mean, STL Sports Central does a better job than anybody I've seen. And then from a news standpoint, veterans get rid of, then they find ways to get rid of people. I very seriously doubt Rennie just left for the heck of it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Usually, most of the time, it's contract related. I mean, like almost every time, contract related. Because there's just no money in local TV. And it's sad because I've had so many people ask me over the years, oh, what should we do to get into local news? I was like, make sure that you can't live life without being, local news is not where you go anymore. It's the last place you go in broadcasting. And I've known it over a 25, 27-year career. You're better served by doing podcasting, learning business, telling stories, because you're getting more information. And you'll often see people in news ridicule people who are podcasting, but podcasters are where news is. Now, it gets difficult when trusting your sources and where people are. Oh, how can I trust them? How can you trust the news or local news too? And you're limited to a certain amount of time. You have people who dictate what you can say and what you can write. The podcasting networks are the future, and it's been that way for about 5 years. Look at where A lot of advertisers are putting money into podcasting because that's where people go. Those are the passionate people. It's not local news. And that's not ripping local news. It is what it is. And it's just sad. So we'll see. I know Rennie, wish him the best. That's for sure. But when it comes to, oh, I went to journalism school at Mizzou and do this like Vic, it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing anymore. You make no money. And the only way you're ever going to be able to support yourself in telling stories is if you do it yourself. You got to have your own publication, your own shows, your own pod. You're better served doing that, working for yourself, than trying to go work for a local news channel. Because it's unfortunate. It just changed. When I got into the business 25, 27 years ago, it was completely different. But then you slowly started to see it change. And so many great broadcasters in the St. Louis area have moved on. And it was all not because they wanted to, but because of contract situations. Is it a reality? Yep, it's a reality. Those things happen. So I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I do know that local news is something when people ask me, I'm like, if it's your passion, sure, go do it. But I'm telling you right now, to go pay to get a degree in journalism and then try to get into local news, I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze. It's very infrequently at all, at best, will it ever work. If you're going to get that degree, you do it, and then you go because you have to just cover city halls, city hall meetings, heck, hyper extreme local weather. Meteorology degree, you have to go work at a local news station, do your own advertising, make your own business. Don't rely on somebody else for all of your goals and your future. Good morning, people who are jumping in. To you, Donna. She says, good morning, Vic and producer Rye. Appreciate you jumping in. Mike Howell, great to see you this morning, buddy. Good to see you as well. Appreciate you guys jumping in on our show, Arch City Now, here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m., 855-282-8255. Once again, it's 855-282-8255. Talking blues, talking news. What happened to local news? What happened to many anchors who were pushed out the door? Great people. I mean, the writing, the ideas, those things all vanished because it's all about the bottom line, bottom dollar. And the last place you want to advertise is local news. You're better served going into podcasting and radio because you have evergreen advertising all over the place. Ads are always popping up. People come to you for a reason. It's not just, it's a big net that's being thrown out like local TV, but it's a shame. Like I said, I don't know all of the particulars. I just know some of the people from before. Anthony Slaughter, another terrific newscaster. Sorry, he's a friend. Gone. Wouldn't treat him with respect when it came to his contract. And that's why you start to see a whole bunch of people you don't even recognize, with all due respect, look like they're 20 with zero experience and learning on the job in St. Louis. There was a time when St. Louis was treated with total respect when it came to journalistic integrity, and that is not the case anymore. It just happens in life. Any other things you want to jump into? Any stories you guys want to? We appreciate it. Any stories going on we'll talk about from a news standpoint? Headlines, anything fun, any events coming up this weekend? I know the weather may be an issue for some people outside, but whatever it is, we'll jump into it. We'll get into it. You can give us a call if you want to. That phone number, 855-282-8255. You can also jump in, as we said, on the chat line, on X, on Facebook, and YouTube, and we'll talk about whatever it is that you guys want to get into. Glad you're with us already on a Thursday morning, October 16th. Don't know if anybody stayed up to watch the game. I'd be very, very curious if anybody actually stayed up and watched it. Are you that much of a Blues fan? That board didn't have anything to do this morning where you could stay up and watch it. I want to know if anybody was watching, if anybody was still in the stands at the end of the third period. Because I did not stay up to watch that last night. Also, coming up on the show, cool concert coming up celebrating Chuck Berry's legacy this Saturday. We'll let you know about that. Also, we've been telling you about the St. Louis County Animal Shelter and how they've got record high numbers. It's just, why does it always seem that we can't get out of our own way in this region when it comes to politics? They're going to double the cost of pet adoption now because the fees are too high. In the midst of everything else that's going on, county executive versus county council. It just, I get it. There's going to be issues, but I've never seen more problems in all the areas I've worked in my life than we have here in the St. Louis area when it comes to politics. It's sad. St. Louis County, St. Louis City, and we wonder why we can't have nice things. Here's some positive news, Ryan. Pop-Tarts. We're talking about Pop-Tarts coming back. Why? Well, we talk about breakfast things here. I haven't eaten a Pop-Tart. I can't even remember how long it's been because I heard about how horrible they were for you. Arsenic and everything else, allegedly. Well, they're trying to come back now and be healthy. That's right. Pop-Tarts trying to come back in a healthy version somehow, some way. We'll have that story for you coming up as well. Hey, Josh Hawley demanding that Ameren answers questions why there's rate hikes and why residents are losing electric, and all in the midst of data centers trying to be brought in, which could hurt it as more than we've seen before. We can talk about that. There's a lot of new places that come to Del Mar, but it seems like we've been talking about a lot of places leaving Del Mar. Sub Shop leaving Del Mar as well. STL Subs leaving Del Mar. No business. Their other shops are doing well. Town and Country, South County, not in Del Mar. Obviously, what happened to Del Mar in May? Well, a tornado ran through there, ransacked it. It's still not even close to being back up to where it was before. Just drive in there as I have. Not what you want to see, that's for sure. Another restaurant leaving Del Mar as well. It's been there for a long time. We'll get into that. We'll tell you about that. Dunkin' Donuts, baby. They got a Halloween menu. If you want to go check it out, we'll tell you about Dunkin'. I could use some Dunkin' this morning. What's our address? We're over on Manchester Road, right next to the Pasta House in that shopping center. I could do some Dunkin' and some coffee this morning. Okay, never mind. I just didn't know where anybody was from that standpoint. Also, we'll get into 10 polite things customers do that fast food places, workers inside do not like. But when's the last time you sat inside of a fast food restaurant and ate? Like a McDonald's, a Wendy's, any of those places? Now, I can see maybe, I've seen people at Qdoba, Chipotle. But do you go in and sit in McDonald's?
I think that's the older generation.
That might be. I thought that was really cool as a kid.
No, when I do my morning McDonald's run, after this show, I see a lot of older people sitting in there.
Wait a second, what are you getting at McDonald's in the mornings? What are you getting at McDonald's in the mornings?
Oh, I get sausage egg McMuffin, and that's it. Either one of those or two of them, and that's it.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I can't get a McGriddle. That's too much. But I feel like sausage muffin.
What do you mean that's too much?
Like a McGriddle's just too much. Like
too heavy?
Yeah, too heavy.
I got you,
but
man.
I feel like a McMuffin is a little bit lighter. So
that's probably my favorite thing. You know what you do? Just get it without cheese. I like a sausage and egg McGriddle without any cheese. Now, some people like, Vic, that's sacrilegious. Are you kidding me? Anyway, we're off and running, guys. One segment down. If you want to give us a call, talk about news stories, get us updated on anything, you can. The phone number 855-282-8255. Jump in on X, Facebook, YouTube. Give us a shout out. We'll give you a shout out back. If there's anybody, any businesses you want to promote, anything going on, bars, restaurants this week, this weekend, we will do it for you. Jump in, let us know. Time is 6:29. It's October 16th. Producer Rye alongside. I'm Vic Faust. We'll be back with more Art City Now right after this. morning, 6:35, October 16th. Here we are, halfway through the month of October already. Still feels like it's June, maybe July outside. High was in the mid 80s yesterday, supposed to get into the mid 80s again today. Not feeling exactly like fall until that sun sets in the evening time and before it comes up in the mornings. But you know what? It's coming to an end. Get ready. So Saturday, highs look in the mid 70s. We got a lot of rain, allegedly coming, rain and storms Saturday, maybe into Sunday. And then after that, all next week, highs in the low 70s and 60s, and then some sun. So that's the fall weather we were talking about. That brings us here as we get to the end of October. But it's kind of been that way for a few years, I think. So, you know what? You just go with it. You look for it and you move right along. Have some fun with it. Enjoy if you're getting outside. Plans for this weekend, plans tonight or Friday, let us know. We'll jump in that. You can talk with us on X, YouTube, and Facebook. You can also give us a call to talk these news stories, 855-282-8255. We are your Lou information station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. You can check out all of our programming as Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us every day from 8 to 10 a.m. Once again, from 8 to 10 a.m. And that's with the former Blue, Cam Jansen. Boy, he'll be tired today. I think he was at the game last night, at the Blues game, late. And Cardinals broadcaster, Jim the Cat Hayes. Here's something interesting from the state of Missouri, which affects people in the St. Louis area as well. Misha, Missouri State High School Sports Association, is reporting that about 300 homeschooled or virtual students are participating in fall sports across the state. 300. I thought it would have been more than that. But we're talking about non-traditional students participating for the first time in fall sports, literally for the first time. That's how behind Missouri was when it came to this situation. Quote, how do we ensure that all students in grades 6 through 12 are being treated fairly, no matter what their particular kind of school enrollment is? That's what they're trying to do in an interview. So they said the extracurricular organization was forced to change its rules following the passing of Senate Bill 63, which became a law this summer in Missouri. What happened, but it's not just homeschooled students anymore. Their president said it's qualifying students enrolled in virtual schooling can also participate in these extracurricular activities like sports. So the students spoken about in the statute are students who are enrolled in a full-time virtual program that is not connected to their local public school, whatever kind of virtual program it is. But then the school district that they live in is who they can participate in sports for. So here's what it states. A student may be eligible as an enrolled student at a public or non-public school located in the district in which the student's parents reside. So homeschool or FPE, school or virtual school students, can be eligible at the public or charter school where the student resides with their parents. In the case of a public multiple school district, or in a case of public multiple school districts, a student may be eligible at the school designated for the student to attend based on the parent's residence by the Board of Education. Very interesting. So you can go to Misha, learn more about it, but you can be taking virtual programs. You don't have to go to school, and then you can still play sports for that school. And I'm telling you, yes, there's an experience to be at high school. I've known several homeschool kids in my life, very well adjusted. I know it's like, oh, kids aren't adjusted. Not the ones I've met. They're perfectly fine. Wonderfully being treated. I'm not saying it's the case in every time, but those are the ones that I've had. And that's not a slap at private or public education. I went to both private and public school. My kids, because of our faith, went to Catholic schools their entire life. And then a private school now. So wherever you want to go, it's fine. But I'm just saying the school structure system right now is not perfect for everyone. It's just not. And when kids find out about these other options, I think more and more may choose them where they want to do stuff from home for a variety of reasons. So that's what made me think about that in the St. Louis area, where homeschooled and virtual students can now play with Misha. Take your classes from home. You don't have to go to school, and you can still play sports with your teams. Not saying it's for everybody once again, but I'm glad that that option is there for kids and families who choose to do so from that standpoint. And why not? Why not give kids an opportunity to do that? So way to go, Misha. Really, really good job trying to catch up with the times to do something like that, because all these options are good. They're good for kids to have and for families to figure out what the best situation is for them to learn, because it's all about getting an education, right? Doesn't matter where it is. It's just about getting the education. We are Arch City now. We're here till 8 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. You can jump in on the show if you want to, talk about these stories. You can let us know your thoughts as well when it comes to whatever may be happening. Also, if you want to give a shout out to anybody, anything from that standpoint, we do that. We appreciate you guys jumping in on the show as well. We'll let you talk with us. We'll let you talk with other people on the chat line. And of course, you can just say hi. You can say good morning. And of course, we'll get you that out there as well. You guys make it happen. And that's why we come here in the mornings. Okay. Cool, dude. Coming up this Saturday, St. Louis Symphony Orchestra is hosting a Chuck Berry birthday bash. It's going to be at Powell Hall. Berry's son, grandson, nephew, all part of the Chuck 100 celebration, honoring what would have been Chuck Berry's 100th birthday. Another nice touch. They've donated 250 tickets to students and alumni of Sumner High School, the same school that Chuck Berry attended, ensuring the next generation can experience and not forget Chuck Berry and his influence on music. So what they're going to do with this is it's going to be Saturday. Powell Hall, actually the first one's Friday night. So you got Friday night at 7 p.m. and then Saturday at 2 p.m. There's still tickets available to purchase. But these are opportunities for people that want to go check out, the life and the legacy and the music of Chuck Berry this Friday and Saturday at Powell Hall. As we get through some of the news headlines this morning, one of the ones that kind of frustrated me a little bit is the cost of pet adoption is now going to double in the next week for those looking to adopt from St. Louis County. So, animal officials are seeking St. Louis to step up for the animals that need it most. So this plea comes just one day after the St. Louis County Council overrode Executive Sam Page's veto of a bill that raises pet adoption fees from $40 to $80 and also limits the number of fee waiver events for the overflowing shelter. So as a public service, it was literally set at one of the lowest adoption rates in the area. So now there's concern that doubling it up to $80, an $80 fee is going to deter people from coming in to adopt a dog. Page in his veto letter said that he wanted the health department, which runs the shelter, by the way, to have more flexibility to waive fees when needed. The council members who supported the increase say it's meant to help cover the rising cost of food, veterinary care, and staffing. The ordinance takes effect in about 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks to get an adoption for $40. Fostering, by the way, is still free. But what's crazy is when you start to look at some of the numbers. In the last few weeks, the St. Louis County Animal Care and Control Center had 160 pets. That's a lot. That's a lot. So I don't know what the answer is there. You figured we'd be able to do something like this a little bit better. The shelter is asking also for food donations. They said that'll help keep the struggling pet owners together with their animals as well. A lot of the surrenders and animals that are brought back in from families say they just can't afford the basic needs for dogs and their animals. So the shelter is going to host its first Barktoberfest this Saturday. That's what's going to be going on Shafley Bottle Works this Saturday at Shafley Bottle Works to encourage adoption and community support for those in the area. All right. Okay. Some of the places we were talking about that are leaving Del Mar. STL Subs is leaving the Del Mar location. That's going to close at the end of the week. Company said it's due to lower sales and what we constantly hear, challenges of operating multiple locations after COVID. They thanked the sub shop customers for helping them maneuver their way through. But while the Del Mar location is shutting down this week, they're going to continue to serve their customers, and they say they're doing strong in South County, Town and Country, and Arnold. You may remember they previously operated under Mr. Goodsense. That replaced some, but not all, of the St. Louis area Goodsense locations with the new sub shop area. So that was going on. And then, the Del Mar Loop allegedly has had, 20 new businesses open, and that can happen in the last, year or so. That's what we hear from, quote, we've seen over 20 new businesses open. We experience about 4 million visits a year, which only brings more businesses here. It's a really exciting time. That's coming from Samantha Samugala, the executive director of the East Loop Community Improvement District. However, Blue Ocean is not one of them. So if you're familiar with Blue Ocean is now going away from the Del Mar Loop. Longtime restaurant closing its doors. And once again, it happens. Businesses come, businesses go. That's part of life. It's part of capitalism. You got to stay relevant, and it is what it is. So a couple things happening over there in the Del Mar Loop. Steve's Hot Dogs is still over there. One of my favorites. You ever had a Steve's Hot Dog? Producer Rye?
I don't think so.
Go try it out. You may not be a hot dog guy, but
I like hot dogs. They're cool.
Yeah, try it out. Got to try it out, my friend. I think you'll like it. It's sorry to bug you from that standpoint. Okay. How about this? Dare I say Pop-Tarts? Trying to make a comeback. We like to talk breakfast things on this show as well. I think Pop-Tarts. Now, I'm not talking about the ingredients yet. We'll get to that. Pop-Tarts. One of the coolest foods, if you want to call it a food, treats, whatever to eat in my life. Absolutely loved them. You know what I'm talking about. Warm, toasted, cream-filled centers, icing on the top, warm coming out of a toaster, oven, however you want to cook them. Really, really loaded with calories, sugar, fat, but so good. Then I started to see that they were made with ingredients that we were supposed to stay away from. Then I saw that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was going to ban them because they were so bad for us. But now Pop-Tarts is bringing back a fall menu and a beloved fall flavor and offering new protein-rich breakfast pastries. A protein Pop-Tart. Kellanova, the company behind Pop-Tarts, said the chocolate chip cookie dough Pop-Tarts are going to be returning to store shelves in November. It was a fan favorite last seen 3 years ago. Hasn't been around for 3 years. Sounds delicious. The relaunch will have the same flavor combo as the version that they had 3 years ago. Caramelized chocolate chip cookie inspired filling tucked inside a golden crust, topped with a signature chocolate icing swirl. I'm in. Okay. The pastries sold nationwide, $3.49 for an 8-count box. Okay. Now, here's the interesting thing. These Pop-Tarts are going to offer 10 grams of protein per serving. That's per one pastry. But they'll still have their signature flavors. Now, I wish I had more information in regards to the ingredients besides adding protein, but they still have their other flavors. Kellanova, a branch of Kellogg, they're looking to add more macronutrients to their products. I didn't know about this. Did you know that Eggos come with protein-enriched brands now? They offer protein-enhanced Eggo waffles.
Yeah, I've heard of
I didn't
that.
see that. I just never walked down that. I started to try to get healthier. It's like if you're going to eat eggs, eggs are amazing for you, whether you like them or not. They are. And of course, protein, as everybody knows, it's the essential building block of life. I mean, it is. It's what your body uses to build and repair muscle. You have to have protein. You cannot eat enough protein. Eat protein, protein, protein. So there you go. If you're into the Pop-Tarts, get some protein in there. Maybe that'll make things a little bit better. Also, as we talk early in the morning, we talk about opportunities, Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, we give shout outs. We're giving shout outs to people. How about this? Dunkin' Donuts unveils a Halloween menu. So they got a new latte and a specialty donut. So here's what they've got going on in the St. Louis area. It's called the new Candy Bar Signature Latte, a drinking, blending chocolate, toffee, pretzel, peanut butter flavors with espresso. I wonder if it's like 1,000 calories. It sounds absolutely amazing. But this is not the health story. This is the taste good story. So what they have is the Spider Donut and the Halloween Munchkins bucket. So the Spider Donut, a purple frosted ring topped with glazed chocolate donut hole designed to look like a spider. Then they've got the Halloween Munchkins bucket also returning with a new design featuring a purple spider donut-inspired lid and illustrations. Each bucket comes filled with a 50-count assortment of donut holes, including new sprinkle-covered Halloween Munchkins. Sounds delightful. It does. Who knows? Maybe you got to go buy something. Take it into work. Take it into school. Whatever be the case. To complement the seasonal treats, Dunkin' is also launching a Spider Donut merch collection. Oh, that's right. You can literally go to DunkinRunsOnMerch.com to check it out. Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' has some really good coffee, if I do say so myself, my humble opinion. Not into all the sugar stuff, but man, boy, they're really offering a whole lot of things here, the merchandise. It's pretty cool. Literally, it's a donut with cream on it, and then it has like a little donut hole sitting on top of the donut, and then little brown legs out from the circle donut, which make it look like a spider sitting on top of the donut. Cute and creative. 6:53 is the time. It's Thursday, Friday Eve. The sun is now coming up in the St. Louis area. We have daylight. It's going to be another beautiful day, gorgeous day. Enjoy it. We get one today. We had one yesterday, and we're going to get one tomorrow. Temperatures, mid-80s for highs. The mornings are absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it gets a little warm during the end of the day, but then as the sun starts to set, some really comfortable evenings. And enjoy it, because we're getting ready to move into the next phase of our weather and seasonal changes. Because after rain is supposed to hit us Saturday and Sunday, temperatures next week, low 70s and 60s for highs and sun. Dare I say, the St. Louis fall will arrive for the third week of October. Hell, we're already halfway through the month already. Just crazy how this stuff is happening and what's going on. Tony, jumping in on the show, wants to give a shout out to the Post Fenton Sports Bar. Says he had a damn good Philly cheesesteak there yesterday. Great service. He will be back. That's what I'm talking about. Tony, thanks for shouting out. The Fenton Sports Bar, the Post Fenton Sports Bar. I have not been into the Post Fenton. Yeah, I have. Wait a second. Yes, I have. It's been a while, but yeah, I did. The Post Fenton Sports Bar had a damn good Philly cheesesteak yesterday and great service. He's going to be back. So anybody else want to post great experiences? Maybe not so great experiences, but we like to try to keep it positive. That's for sure. When it comes to the show, moving forward, anything and everything from the St. Louis area. Of course, you can check out our show and then what comes up after us, Hot Take Central 2.0 from 8 to 10 a.m. Former Blue Cam Jansen, Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. Yeah, we'll get into the Blues a little bit next segment, but I think Cam was there last night. Just if you could think about the worst way to start a season as long as everybody was healthy, this is at that for the Blues when it comes to their the 2 home games. Who would have thought and I'll save that. I'll save the take for when we come right back out. Thanks for jumping in on X. Thanks for jumping in on Facebook. Thanks for jumping in on YouTube. You can also talk with us on those sites as well. And we'll continue to bring you these stories as we have been. All right. We've got an hour down in the books. Hate this. Has anybody ever slept so good that you slept in a wrong spot when you woke up the next morning? You had that bad kink in your neck. I think everybody's been there at some point. I did this yesterday, but I slept so good. 7 hours, 45 minutes straight because I was so tired, ran myself down. But I've had the worst pain in this neck. Anybody have a good way to get rid of it? Let me know. Besides taking ibuprofen. We don't want to live on ibuprofen because we know it's bad for us. Somehow, some way. I don't know. You let me know. Okay. What's that?
I said, don't take Tylenol.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, that's not the first time I've heard that either. Everybody has a remedy of some sort. Let us know. Okay. We'll take a quick break. 855-282-8255. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. This is Art City Now. Glad you're with us. St. Louis, we're waking you up as we do every morning. Glad you're with us. We'll be back right after this break. We are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. Friday Eve, October 16th. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. Glad you guys are with us. Hey, by the way, anything and everything that you guys want to talk about, St. Louis area, whatever the case, let us know. Jump on in. You can give us a call, 855-282-8255. We'll talk about these sports stories. We'll talk about the news stories. We'll talk about anything that's happening in the St. Louis area. I'm glad you guys are with us this morning. Hey, I can tell you this much. You can jump in on X, Facebook, and YouTube and talk with us, talk with other people who are jumping in on the show as well. We are always up for a good conversation and to promote what's happening throughout the St. Louis area. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us today with the former Blue Cam Jansen and, of course, Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. They follow us from 8 to 10. Is Charlie Tuna back on yet? Is he doing all right? Is he on the IR still?
Tuna's on the IR, man. You know,
because I know you host his, or you produce his show, right? 11 o'clock every day.
I produce the 11 to 1 show, Charlie Tuna and the Posse. We've been having a lot of subs, a lot of G League pull-ups, a lot of call-ups. We had Brody Herman. He came in, he ran the show. Was it Tuesday?
I don't even know, man.
He ran the show Tuesday. Then we had Moses come in on yesterday. I don't know who comes in today. I may just run the show by myself, but
all right, there you go.
I know what's going to happen, but I hope Charlie comes back.
But Charlie show Mondays through Fridays from 11 to 1 o'clock as well. If you haven't had it, you can check it. A lot of great interviews that come in there as well. Okay, what the truck happened last night with the St. Louis Blues? This was bad from the get-go. We should never, ever, 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 ever have an 8:30 start in St. Louis during the middle of the week. Are you freaking kidding me? On a Wednesday night, TNT put us at 8:30? No, thank you. Unless the Blues are making a ton of money, which can be put back into payroll to help the team, which will help the fans enjoy their experience more. Do not do 8:30 games on Wednesday nights. Number one, kids can't go. They really can't. What, are you going to go for a period and get them back in bed? I mean, seriously, an 8:30 start. One of my friends who owns a bar, I told him twice on text. I was like, he's want me to come watch a game. I'm like, bro, dude, it's an 8:30 start. No, it's too late. He's like, it starts at 6 o'clock. I'm like, no, it doesn't. He was even shocked. He's like, there's no way they would start a game at 8:30. Yeah, that's what I was talking about in our show yesterday. It's that bad. Hello. Yeah, that bad. So anyway, you got a late start at home. And then the Blues had a late start on the ice. Before they knew it, the Blackhawks were up 1-0. Then they were up 2-1. Then they were up 3-2. And it just built from there. The avalanche rolled from there. Blues go on to lose last night. Final score, 8-3. 8-3. Are you kidding me? 8-3? I'm like, no. They just got out to a hot start. Yeah, the Blackhawks won't be around. The Blackhawks looked really good. Coached well, skated well, played well. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with freaking the Blues? So now you look at this and you're like, okay. First home game of the year, you get shut out 5-0. Second home game of the year, you get beat 8-3. So now you're telling me the Blues have given up 13 goals at home in 2 games? Is my math right? 8 plus 5, is that 13?
Yes, sir.
Last time I checked, 13 freaking goals. Hofer came in last night. Really bad. They brought Bennington in. He gave up a quick, easy goal. He wasn't warmed up. Not his fault. Hofer gets put back in, ends up giving up 7 goals. Montgomery just knew the team wasn't there. Now, they can blame it on being in Canada for a couple days and coming back. BS. These are good hockey players. Cam will get into it during the 8 o'clock show, but I'm telling you from my perspective, unacceptable. I don't care if we're 4 games into a season. It's a long season, Vic. Yeah, I know, but come on. Your first 2 home games of the year to get fans excited, 2 absolute duds. They'll be better. They will be. They've got good players. Jake Neighbors got another goal. How about that? 4 goals in 4 games for him. Like seeing Della Holloway, Tal Tucker had a goal. But the problem is the fact that, man, what the hell is going on? Do they just not care? Because they look so good in Canada, fighting hard. Then at home, we don't want to start these trends where you're giving up games at home, points at home right now. And then at the end of the year, we're going, oh, if we just would have won one more game. And then you look back to some of these things that are going on. I mean, I thankfully people are healthy as far as I know, because outside of that, you couldn't have a worse start to your home season than what the Blues have put forward. Embarrassing all the way around, coaching, playing. At least the fans showed up. And if anybody was at the game last night, I'd love for you to check in, because I want to see when people started to leave, because it's way, 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 way too late to start a damn game during the middle of the week, especially in St. Louis. I mean, if you're trying to go there, if that game would have been close and you're wanting to watch and you paid good money to go watch, is it ending near 11:30, 11:15, 11:30 on a weeknight? Clearly not for kids. And if you're working, you're screwed the next day. You are. So what the heck? Hopefully, and I know it's a TNT national broadcast. BS, want no part of that. None of that at all. But like we say, it is what it is. So now the Blues have the Dallas Stars on the schedule coming up Saturday night. And we know that's going to be a tough game. And it's a perfect opportunity for the Blues to come back and get back on the right track and win their first home game of the year. The fans deserve it. Dallas has been a really, really good team. And the Blues have to win their first game. More pressure starts to get on them now. And it should. So now you've gone 2 games without a win, and then you welcome a team that was picked ahead of you, a team that's undefeated. The Stars are 3-0, by the way. 3-0 out of the gate. And they've scored a lot of goals. The Stars are averaging 5 goals a game. The Blues at home have given up 13 goals in 2 games. That is not a good stat. The Stars are giving up, though, just over 3 goals a game as well. So, I don't know. You just look at the Blues division. You've got Colorado, who's 3-0. You got the Stars, who are 3-0. Nashville's 2-1-1. The Blackhawks are now 2-2-1. Winnipeg's 2-1. You got the Blues tied for last with Utah and Minnesota. And keep in mind, that Minnesota team that came in here and put a whopping on the Blues in the home opener, they haven't gone out and been giant killers. They've gone on to lose 2 of their next 3 games after shutting out the Blues. That is not a good sign. Not at all. So we'll see. It's up to you. Take care of business Saturday night against the Stars. Not only do they play the Stars Saturday night, but then they have 2 more home games after that. There's time to change things around. Let's hope they do. Tuesday night, they host LA. LA has, they've started 1-2. They have not started off so well. And then next Thursday, they have another home game. And that will be against Utah. And Utah hasn't exactly been that great either. They're 2-2. So early start to the season. There's a lot of season to play. The problem is the fact that the Blues just did not look up to the part last night. Tied 2-2 after 1 period. Then the second period, 3 goals they give up. Third period, they give up 3 more goals, and then they finally get 1. If anybody stayed up late, if anybody went to the game, let us know. Be curious to see how that all went down, because it was ugly. Congrats to the Blackhawks. They look like they're making their changes finally where they'll get back on track with some young stars that they have on that team. Little energy going into the team. We are Art City now. 7:15 is the time. Producer Ryan alongside. I'm Vic Faust. If you want to give us a call, talk about the Blues, anything else from a St. Louis standpoint, you can do so. The phone number there is 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. You can jump in on X, Facebook, Twitter, talk with us. Let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods. Anything you want to promote, any businesses, charities, whatever, people come in. Tony jumped in. He gave a shout out to the Post Fit and Sports Bar. Said a damn good Philly cheesesteak yesterday. Said the service was great. He will be back. He says that's Old Smizer Road, just off 141 and Highway 30. I know exactly where it is, Tony. Thanks for putting that out there for everybody. Also, shout out to First Form with their new energy drink. I've had it. I like it. They do a really, really good job. They do. Great flavors. Priscilla Brothers doing it great, coming from the chat line. Even Dana White involved. Yeah, I remember doing that story. Dana White got involved with them on that energy drink. Let's go First Form. Love to promote the area. Love to promote St. Louis as well. The Priscilla's got it rocking and rolling over there. They have for a long time. Employed a lot of people too. Do a really, really, really good job. Let's go First Form from the chat line as well. Love to put that out there for you guys. Art City now, promoting, doing anything and everything we can to keep you guys updated on what's happening throughout the St. Louis area. Story we did from earlier in the first show, if you didn't see. By the way, I wonder, it's already Thursday again, man. I keep forgetting about this because I'll never forget, Rye, because we promote everything St. Louis. It's Thursday. You know what that means?
What does that mean?
It means high school football.
Oh, yeah. SLU versus CBC, right?
What? Is that tonight?
I think it's not tonight. It's Friday.
Yeah, no, that's Friday.
Yeah, but I know it's a big time game this weekend, And then East Side, of course, is hosted. We're hosting the game. They play O'Fallon at East Side. I think it's their homecoming game.
Who is that?
East St. Louis versus O'Fallon.
Oh, their homecoming?
The yeah, and I think you guys want to shoot, I say East St. Louis by, I don't know, 55 maybe. 60.
Oh, dear God. What are you? Not so good.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But Thursday nights also mean some high school football in the area. That's what happens in St. Louis. You got some, I look at what we have going on. I'm not a big fan of it. I have not been that way, and I won't be, but there are some games. We'll get those in there for you as well. I forgot about that. I'm like, damn, it's Thursday. I keep forgetting. I don't know which is worse, high school football Thursday nights in the St. Louis area out of necessity or 8:30 Blues games on a Wednesday night. Not good. Any way you look at it, not freaking good. But as I say, it is what it is. We'll look at some of those scores. So that's going on tonight, Thursday night. Nice night for football. Big weekend as well. You were just talking about some of the games. We'll be promoting that throughout the day tomorrow as well. Anything else that you guys want to do? It's a beautiful day and beautiful night to get out. Tomorrow will be as well. Saturday and Sunday a bit different, expecting some severe thunderstorms. I've heard the weather could be up, down, all around. We'll wait and see what happens. You said you even heard a possible tornado watch. Is that what you said, Rye, a little bit earlier from that standpoint?
What you said?
Weather was possible tornado watch.
It's a severe storm watch this Saturday in the St. Louis area and a little bit southern as well.
So the weather's going to cool down after that.
Yeah.
70, mid 70s, I guess, for high on Saturday. And then after that, you're looking at 60s and 70s, low 70s for highs all next week. Sun coming out as well. That'll be nice. Some of those things that are going on. Just bizarre, the nice weather that we've had. And then all of a sudden, it'll be and people talk about this. It doesn't ever seem like it's a nice, slow transition. It's like, boom, all of a sudden. Welcome to cold fall. But we may get that this week. That'll be fine. 7:20 is the time. If you want to give us a call, you can. 855-282-8255. Once again, that's 855-282-8255. As we continue to promote anything and everything we have from a St. Louis standpoint. I also like this because what's happening, I give credit. Oh, by the way, St. Louis City SC plays Saturday. At least they're scheduled to. Their final game of the year, 8 p.m. out at Energizer Park against Salt Lake City. The team really turned it around in the end part of the year. You hope they can just finish the season off, the regular season, in a really, really good way. And it'll be a nice way to build for next year. They've been a different team since making changes within the organization, including coach. And they've shown us better soccer. They've shown us some scoring. And we'd love to see it. And, of course, we want to get behind that team. We love our soccer in St. Louis. And such a great opportunity. And they do such a really, really good job with game day atmosphere, game day experience. So go get them. St. Louis City SC at Energizer Park Saturday at 8 p.m. as well. Hadn't brought up Mizzou yet today. By the way, the new construction, you see it at their games on TV. The north end zone, it's going to be phenomenal when it finishes. And it's supposed to be ready before the season even starts now. They're ahead of schedule, which is fantastic to hear when it comes to what that stadium is going to look like. We certainly hope it's a lot of hype, a lot of energy for the season next year as well. But before next season, they're playing right now. So how about this? The line opened about 3 points. Auburn favored. Now that's 3-3 Auburn, not ranked, but 3 tight, almost like one-score games playing Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Georgia back-to-back weeks. Auburn's looking at Mizzou as a win. Their defense is really good, but they don't score many points. So they were favored by 3. Then it went down to 1.5 points. And now, at last check, at least before I went to bed last night, Mizzou was a 1.5 point favorite now. Money coming in on the Tigers. And a lot more respect. I look at a lot of the SEC pundits. They're now, it's just that name, Alabama. And I still don't think that Alabama team is the Bama that it's been, not even close. But just because Missouri played them close, they didn't drop much in the polls. And people like, oh, yeah, they're a top 6, 7 team in the SEC. And it's like, okay. Now Missouri has to go prove it against Auburn because you cannot lose at Auburn. 2 straight losses going to take on Diego Pavia at Vanderbilt. And by the way, Vanderbilt is favored over LSU at home. That's an LSU team, what, ranked 10th, 11th? And Vanderbilt's favored over LSU at home. It just goes to show how much the betting world in Vegas respects Vanderbilt, number 1, and then number 2, Vanderbilt playing at home. That's a big deal. So, huge opportunity for Mizzou coming into this weekend. Obviously, Eli Drinkwitz, from his press conference 2 days ago, had his quarterbacks back. He had his teams back. And now they have an opportunity to go show what they can get done. At Auburn, that game will be Saturday night as well. And by the way, when the game's finished, you can catch us on stlsportscentral.com, stlsportscentral.com. We do the Mizzou postgame show for St. Louis. Chris Pelican, myself, and Mizzou color voice, Howard Richards. Every now and then, we have Grant Salzman who will jump in, and people from around the country as we talk Mizzou football following those postgame shows. So as soon as the game ends, we come on with the postgame show talking Mizzou football. So hopefully that'll be you can chime in. Let us know your thoughts, feelings, cares, anything, everything. When the game ends, you can check us out on the postgame show. 7:25 on a Thursday morning. Good morning, St. Louis. Sun's shining. It's going to be a beautiful weather day. Hope you stay positive today. Make the most of the day. This is a story I love that I saw come down. Misha, the Missouri State High School the Missouri State High School Activities Association, says that 300 homeschoolers and virtual students are participating in fall sports across the state. So they had to make sure that this was happening. This is the first time this has happened in fall sports and other activities associated within the Missouri State High School Sports Activities Association. That's been going on this fall in the state of Missouri. So they passed, state legislature did, Senate Bill 63. It became law this past summer, and it allowed virtual students and it allowed homeschool students to participate in sports. So they get an opportunity to participate in the sports. And when that happens, they can go do all of their schooling from home, not have to worry about anything in regards to not allowing them to play any of the sports they need to for their home school. You can also participate in private schools that are in your district. That's where I thought it would be interesting, because it breaks out where a student may be eligible as an enrolled student at the public or non-public school located in the district in which the student's parents reside. Homeschool, FPE school, or virtual school students can be eligible at the public or charter school. So that's okay. Eligible at the public or charter school. It doesn't say it said private school earlier, where the student resides with the parents. In case of a public multiple school district situation, where you have two parents living in different school districts, a student may be eligible at the school designated for the student to attend based on the parent's residence and by the Board of Education. So it's only right when it comes to these situations. It is. For more information, if this affects you or anybody you know, loved ones, family, friends, whatever, you can just contact Misha. And they have an official handbook that they'll go over with you as well. So good to hear. But how about that? 300 students participating in high school this fall that are homeschooled or virtual. That's a lot. That's 300. And I promise you that this story gets out there, it's going to grow. I see more and more kids wanting to stay home and learn. I do. I know this. I know parents who have kids that have asked and are learning and want to get to that situation. So we'll see where it goes. It's not for everybody, but it is for some, for sure. It's a Thursday, 7/28, October 16th. We are Arch City Now. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m., bringing you stories, water cooler talk, content when it comes to our area, our backyard, and national stories that be localized as well. Appreciate you guys being here. Producer Rise alongside. I'm Vic Faust. If you guys want to jump in on the show and talk about some of these stories, you can. We always give you a phone number to do so at 855-282-8255, 855-282-8255, or you can jump in on X, Facebook, YouTube. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the show, letting people know what we have going on as well, jumping in there. Shout outs, stories, appreciate it. Shout outs already this morning for First Form and their energy drink, and for the Post Fit and Sports Bar and their Philly cheesesteak sandwich. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back after this. We are your Lou Information Station. We are live and on demand at louinfo.com. morning, Art City Now. Here on our network at KLIS, we are your Lou Information Station. We're always live and on demand at louinfo.com. Producer Rye alongside Vic Faust. Thanks for kicking it with us this morning as we get you up and going in the mornings here, Monday through Friday. Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us with former Blue Cam Jansen and Cardinals broadcaster Jim the Cat Hayes. Boy, oh boy, let's talk about the Blues there. I wonder if Cam was there to the end of the game last night. I have to yell into him in a second to find out what the hell happened with the Blues last night. They'll get into a lot of that, that's for sure. Late start. Everybody's like, it's the beginning of the season. Yeah, 8:30 start for the fans. It was a later start for the Blues on the ice, if they ever even started. That's for sure. Walked into a buzzsaw, the new NHL buzzsaw, the Battlehawks, the best team in the NHL. At least that's what they look like. One thing's for certain, they can't start off with, people. You can't give up 13 goals in your first two home games of the year. That's embarrassing. I mean, this team is way too good for that. Just embarrassing. Maybe it's their whole thing. Yeah, we're a second half team, as in second half of the season. Can't be this year. We'll see where that goes. High school football throughout the St. Louis area, 5 games tonight. Have I said that I'm not a big fan of Thursday night football? Yeah, I think I've said that a bunch. Not cool for the high school kids. It should be a Friday night deal. Shouldn't be football on Saturday, too. There should be lights. Kids should get that experience for everybody, of Friday night lights. But tonight, interesting game. You got DeSmet, 4-3 at Cardinal Ritter, 3-3. That's interesting. 7 p.m. start time there. Be a nice night for football, that's for sure. Also, Hazelwood East, they're 4-3, playing at Hazelwood Central tonight, 2-5. Another local game, Fort Zumwalt East getting to host Washington. So got some games there. And then a 5th game, you got 7 p.m. start. Parkway West, they've had a good year, 6-1. Playing at Pattonville, who's 4-3. Pattonville, a pretty good team as well. So got some good matchups for Thursday night if there has to be some high school football. At least there's some good matchups that will affect district seeding that is coming up. So like to promote and see what's happening, what we've got going on there. Cam, were you at the game to the end last night?
Oh, hell no.
Okay, thank God.
I live 45 minutes away and I didn't have to do anything afterwards. So see you later.
Thank you. Cam Jansen coming up with Hot Take Central 2.0. I would get him on the show, but I don't want to bug him. He and Jim the Cat Hayes doing their show prep. Can't force him to jump on without asking in advance. If you couldn't hear, he said, hell no, I didn't stay to the game last night. Didn't have to do anything at the end, and I live 45 minutes away. Yeah, that's a late start time, as we were talking about earlier. When it came to the Blues, 2-2 on the season. By the way, they do host the Stars Saturday night if you're just joining us. So a chance to make things right. Stars 3-0, considered to be a division front runner or a team that's going to win. They're just loaded. They're a loaded team. They've been playing well, 3-0. The Blues have not been, but it'll be an opportunity for them to go do something well, to get something positive going. And we certainly hope that is the case. Okay. Anything you want to jump in on X, Facebook, YouTube, let us know. We're covering that. We're following the things that are happening all throughout the St. Louis area. Also, by the way, I don't know if this is a shout out. Here we go. From the chat line, Rodgers, the Steelers against Flacco. What kind of script are we going to see tonight when it comes to NFL? And it is interesting, and I'm glad you brought it up, because we hadn't talked about it yet. Aaron Rodgers is having a really good year. And I know he is a lightning rod of controversy because of his own words, sayings, actions over the years. But Flacco and Rodgers, the old guys going at it on a Thursday night in the NFL.
It's a late night unction. 2 unks just going at it.
Unks.
2 unks.
Does that get you excited for it? I mean, it's something else to watch tonight. You've got baseball too. But, you know, NFL is big in the St. Louis area. We know that. But then, I mean, you've got the old guys, 2 starters. I mean, literally going at it. You've got the Steelers at the Bengals tonight. 4-1 Steelers at the 2-4 Bengals. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has thrown for over 1,000 yards. He's got 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, having a really, really good year for the Steelers. He's been exactly what the Steelers needed. He's fit in very well with Mike Tomlin. The Bengals had to go out and get Joe Flacco. So you've got that to watch tonight as well. When it comes to the action this weekend, Chiefs host the Raiders if you're looking ahead. We'll get into more of that tomorrow. But you've got baseball tonight as well. We were talking about that. Baseball action. The Blue Jays last night went in and just rocked the Mariners after everybody thought, the Mariners may sweep the series. So the Blue Jays took it on the chin at home for 2 straight. Then they go to Seattle and they win game 3. So that series is 2-1. They play tonight. Also game 3 of the Dodgers and the Brewers. Dodgers took the first 2 in Milwaukee. Game 3 in LA today as well. So lots of viewing action for you to watch there. St. Louis City SC Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Supposed to get a lot of weather on Saturday. We'll see how that goes. If it's late at night, when it possibly could come, if that would affect anything happening, we'll certainly be watching for that as well. Other things going on this Saturday. Well, it's actually this Friday at 7 p.m. and then Saturday at 2 p.m. Got the Chuck Berry Birthday Bash. Really cool event taking place over at Powell Symphony Hall. It's to, just pay tribute to what would be Chuck Berry's 100th birthday. 250 tickets were given to Sumner High School students where he went to make sure that people don't forget the legacy that Chuck Berry had on music, not only in the St. Louis area, but around the world. Really, really cool deal to see that. Unfortunately, the cost of a pet adoption is doubling in the St. Louis area now. If you're looking to adopt from St. Louis County, they're trying to change it. You can still purchase or you can still adopt for $40 for 2 weeks. After that, it's going up to $80 unless something else changes. Infighting between County Executive Sam Page and County Council members. County Council members saying, who's going to pay for all of this? Making sure that goes through. From the chat line, are you going to wear a costume on Halloween? Probably not. I don't know. What day? Can you look at calendar for October? What day is October 31st? Anybody know off the top of their hand? I don't even know.
I think it's like a Thursday, but I'm not sure.
I bet it's a Thursday. I think it's a Thursday too. I think you're right. So anyway, that's unfortunate.
Oh, it's a Friday.
It's a Friday.
Because my mom's birthday is on the 30th. So
all right. Happy
Thursday.
early birthday to your mom.
Yep.
Okay. So it's just an unfortunate situation what's happening over there in the county. I mean, at last check, they had 160 plus animals. They're maxed out. Now it's very expensive. There's budget shortages and somebody's got to pay for it. So county council says, we've got to double. Who's going to pay for all this stuff? And then I think the executive said, no, we should keep it the same. Anyway, that could be an issue. That could be a very, very big issue. We'll see. We'll keep you posted on everything that's happening there. Also, a couple businesses leaving the Del Mar Loop. If you're wondering where they go, you'll know why. Blue Ocean is taking off. The Del Mar Loop, we're told, it's booming. I mean, that's what their economic growth executive director tells us for the East Loop community, Samanthani Samugala. But Blue Ocean is leaving. So they've been there for a long time. She says they've seen over 20 businesses open just in the last year, which is very good. But one of the mainstays, Blue Ocean, it's been there for over 20 years, said they have to leave because they're missing rent payments. They're still blaming the pandemic. Is the pandemic still affecting, from 2020, 5 years later? Did habits change that much?
A lot of people don't eat in as much anymore. A lot of people do pickup, so they don't tip. So it's like, and then they don't do this.
I don't know, but see, here's the thing, though. And you talk about restaurants and businesses that make it in the St. Louis area and don't. They said at the restaurant, quote, reviews are up, profits are up. Everybody coming in here says the mood, the vibes are up. So it's just really unfortunate timing. Okay. He said at no point from until now? Was it like, hey, how about those payments? Could you pay him back? There was no payment plan, so there was no conversation about it. So they hope to find a new building in the Loop at some point in time. So that's what's happening with Blue Ocean if you don't see them around for a while. Also, St. Louis Subs, STL Subs, if you've seen them around, they announced that their Delmar location is going to close at the end of this week. The challenges of multiple locations spread across the St. Louis region and lower sales. But their other locations seem to be doing pretty well in South County, Town and Country, and Arnold. So if you don't see them in that area, you'll see them. By the way, that's the former Good Sense. Most of them were the former Good Sense that then became STL Subs. If you're wondering what that was about or who they were. Love this story from earlier in the show. Pop-Tarts. You can now get protein Pop-Tarts, baby. Protein Pop-Tarts. Maha movement, trying to become healthier. Bring them on. I just hope there's no bad chemicals in there. As I heard, Vic, you should never eat a Pop-Tart again. Boy, did I love a toasted Pop-Tart. One of my favorite foods of all time, my friend. Now I can get them with protein. If they made them healthier, I'll be back on.
Personally,
I'll earn a Pop-Tart by eating better during the day.
Personally, I think toaster strudels are better than Pop-Tarts.
Can't complain. How could you? Sugary, warm, melting goodness. Yeah. I'm all in, my friend. They still make toasted strudel?
I don't know, but
I haven't seen a toasted strudel forever.
For breakfast, like every day in high school. I mean, not before breakfast, for breakfast, actually.
Really? And you look as good as you do?
Yeah.
Damn.
Thank you, Vic.
Damn.
I'm feeling like I got to get back in the weight room a little more, and I work out every day.
You're young. You can do it. By the way,
really the diet.
Yep. Speaking of that, Dunkin' Donuts unveiling their Halloween menu. Sorry, people. They got to really do fun. It sounds amazing. It also sounds very high in fat and calories, but whatever. And especially donut. They're bringing it in right now. They got the spider donut and the Halloween Munchkins bucket. Some really cool stuff. You enjoy it, especially if you're trying to go in, take care of a business, bring some donuts in for kids, the schools, whatever. It's all good. Check out Dunkin' Donuts. They got a donut that looks like a spider now. And I mean, the coffee, I can't even call it a coffee. I mean, it looks like a milkshake. It looks so good. I have no idea what the hell they're doing, but it looks absolutely amazing. You can check that out as well. We promoted about it a little earlier. St. Louis City SC, they got their game Saturday night, final game of the year. Really turned their season around. Loved seeing what they were able to do, getting things done. Carolyn Kendall and crew, just a really great experience. When you have a chance to go out and check it out, you can do that. Also, I promised you I would give this to you earlier, and I'll bring it up now. 10 things that fast food employees do not like that customers do if you go in. I don't eat inside fast food restaurants in the St. Louis area. I don't. If I get them, I'm in and out because it's called fast food. Maybe you do. Maybe others don't. But a poll showed, first of all, number one, things that annoy workers inside fast food restaurants, if there is something that annoys them, throwing away your trash, but mixing recyclables. Do you think about that? Does that really bug them? Allegedly, it does. Number two, stacking trays with leftover food. I could see that. That could become a pain. It creates extra work. Number three, eating and running without cleaning your space. You just leave that there on a table. If you do that, come on, that's low class. Don't do that. Number four, informing workers about crying kids. Yeah, they hear your kids. They don't need to be told. They already understand what you're dealing with. I didn't understand this one. Always opting for meal deals out of politeness. Huh? Out of politeness? Apparently, many people assume they should just order a combo meal because it seems polite to follow the suggested deals. In truth, workers prefer that you just order what you want. Okay. Waiting at a table after ordering, expecting service instead of just standing there and waiting for your food. Sorry. Disagree. How about taking too many napkins or straws? 7? Yeah. 8, not using the trash bins properly where you throw trash all over the place. Yeah, of course. Loud or disruptive behavior and stacking trays unnecessarily. All right. Those are the things. Moving through, reminding you how to be polite if you go to these places. Okay. All right. We're there. Thanks so much. Glad you showed up. Glad you showed out as well. We are your Lou information station. We're live and on demand at louinfo.com. From the chat line, Donna says, I worked at Dunkin' Donuts when I was younger. It was actually a fun place to work. I worked the counter, and that was a great place to go. Pop-Tarts are good. They do make toasted strudel still, but I prefer the Pop-Tarts. Obviously, you're a toasted strudel guy, Ryan. I guess I'd be the Pop-Tarts guy if I was going to do it. Also being told that Dunkin' soup was delicious. They have soup. Do they still have soup at Dunkin' Donuts? Do they really? I have no idea. No idea. Also, a shout out for the Steelers tonight. Aaron Rodgers and crew. You've got your NFL action tonight. You've got your baseball action tonight. You've also got, if you're in the St. Louis area, some of those high school football games that I was talking about that people are, looking to go to. If some big games as well on the slate, at least when it comes to trying to figure out what's happening in district play. The weather has become a big story around the area too. Rain and storms expected on Saturday. The rain is expected to end on Sunday, but have some PM sun. And then it brings in what's supposed to be an absolutely gorgeous week. Maybe the best week of fall that we have had when you're talking about highs in the low 70s and high 60s the entire week with sun. Yeah, that's fall. It would finally arrive for the third week of October. Really got hit with some warmer weather, some unseasonably warm, comfortable weather that we've had as well. Throughout the area. So that should be nice. Today, tomorrow, highs in the mid 80s. Very comfortable, very warm that we talk about as well. So very comfortable days. If you guys have shout outs, events for the week, you can promote them in the next couple of minutes, or you can certainly promote them on tomorrow's show as well. The Free for All Friday show that we will have for you. You guys can feel free to do that. One other thing, we've talked about the data centers and things from that standpoint. Well, U.S. Senator Josh Hawley from Missouri has sent Ameren a letter raising serious questions about rate hikes and the data center plans. So maybe this will come back in a way that'll be positive for consumers. Literally wanting to know, from a 12% rate hike in June to thousands of residents losing electric service in August. And then you have many Missourians struggling to keep the lights on. So he now in a move that could fear to more rate hikes. Ameren, Missouri is trying to attract those new data centers to the state. So that's become a very, very, very interesting topic. Very important one too, especially when it comes to electric and where Ameren sits on everything. So Hawley's letter, obviously talking about the rate increase, the disconnections, the data center expansion. He said that Missourians should not be forced to subsidize corporate projects while struggling to keep their lights on. So maybe some more answers will be given for St. Louisans and Missourians when it comes to that situation. So I don't know. The senior director of economic community and business development at Ameren said, we're experiencing a really unique moment for economic development, which means we can attract jobs and capital investment to our state. Yeah, certainly you can bring money in with the data centers, but is it going to work? So Ameren's plan is designed to attract large load customers, data centers, projects that could bring in significant revenue. However, you've got staff analysis from PSC estimates that adding a data center could raise existing Ameren customers' bills about $22 million per year. So that's where that gets down. That's why people are like, wait a second, we need more information before we allow data centers to be built in our communities. From the chat line as well. Yes, Vic. Dunkin' had soup. Dunkin' Donuts had soup. I don't know if they still do or not. I don't know. I just haven't been there in a while. I don't know. But the data center is certainly becoming a huge topic all over the place when it comes to, hey, should we allow them in the area? Are they really going to hurt water supply? Are they going to infect that? Is it going to raise rates? Are we going to have issues? Those are some of the things that are coming down with that. We'll certainly be keeping in contact with that and following those stories as we've been telling you about, as we've been following it. Certainly been following those stories since that started to come into, into play, where people get concerned about. So we appreciate you guys jumping in with us again today. As always, we're here Monday through Friday. Like to promote St. Louis, talk about St. Louis. It's going to be a beautiful day, next couple of days for sure. You've got high school football tonight. We were talking about big matchup, Cardinal Ritter hosting DeSmet. That'll be a big one. High school football tomorrow night. You said CBC SLU. That's another good football game.
Yes, sir. CBC SLU. They play on Friday. It's for the MCC championship. 2 undefeated teams. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, 2 undefeated teams and growing at it.
Do you know where that game is being played?
It's at SLU.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, we are the home of the East St. Louis Flyers.
Yes, sir. I produce the play-by-play games. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. they play O'Fallon. It is their homecoming game. I expect Eastside to have a very fun and interesting game. That's what I say.
Yep, that'll be for sure. Hot Take Central 2.0 will be coming up. Stick around. It'd be great to hear Cam's take on the Blues last night and 2 home games, 13 goals in 2 games. Not jumping off the ship or anything from that standpoint, but man, okay, that's 2 in a row now. What the hell's going on? It's easy to make excuses, but this is not the team we expected to see at home, especially after looking so good the first 2 games there. Hot Take Central 2.0, they'll be coming in to figure out, to see all of those things that are happening right now. Appreciate you guys being with us again today, as always. Thanks for jumping in on X, YouTube, and Facebook as you can every day. And of course, you can check out all of the programming and content that we have at luinfo.com. For Ryan, for producer Ryan, I'm Vic Faust. We are your Lou Information Station. We're live and on demand at luinfo.com. Have a great day. Stay positive. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m.